I don't know about this thing being sporty, but whatever. Today we're going to attempt to get rid of that check engine light. But I'm going to crawl under here, hence the cardboard. I'm going to look and find out where the oxygen sensors are, and then we're going to try and replace them, because that's what's throwing up the code.
New truck? That's right.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out.
Dorothy, you took her, you damn thief.
Haven't seen you in seasons.
Now, on advice from actually all of you guys, I ended up getting all 3 oxygen sensors. This particular, let's see, this particular truck takes 3 oxygen sensors, and I believe you have your upstream left, your upstream right, and then this is obviously your downstream. And the reason being that, according to the codes anyway, 2 of the oxygen sensors have an issue, and if 2 of them have an issue, your 3rd one's probably on the way out. They're obviously still the originals, so I just went ahead, paid the extra. You'll probably notice that I've got 3 different brands, because that's all they had at the Auto O'Reilly's, but you know, it doesn't matter. I just got to get this thing ready to pass SMOG, because that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to actually take it in and see if we can get this thing to pass. So yeah, let's go underneath the truck, figure out where these oxygen sensors are, and we will take it from there. Okay, so since we're down here under the truck, we may as well take a proper look around and see what we can see. This looks to be an aftermarket transmission pan, oil pan, whatever you call it, which is cool. Made in the USA. I can see that over here, over here we have our, that'll be our 1 upstream oxygen sensor, which goes, so I'll have to trace the plug back. And over here we have our other upstream. Oh no, hang on, up there we have our other upstream. This then is what? This is just before the catalytic converter. This is a catalytic converter here. And so, a little confused. Do we have another one? We do. We have another one down there. So there are 4 oxygen sensors. What the heck? That would be the downstream one. Okay. So, man, this is frustrating. So we got one over there, which looks like it's a hassle, but it's not too difficult to get to. We've got one over here, which is super easy to get to. We've got one over here just in front of the catalytic converter. And then we've got one after the catalytic converter, which would be the downstream one. And any others? No. Let's just take a look at the rest down here, see what we got. So, this is the transfer case for the 4-wheel drive. We have our beefy drive shaft that goes all the way down. This is all cracked and broken here, which is fantastic. That needs to be welded up. And here's our massive fuel tank. That thing is huge. It needs to be with a big truck like this. It's a little strange. Don't know what's going on with these wires. I wonder if this has got something to do with that mystery wire that we had in the front. I still haven't traced that, but I'll get to it. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. It looks fairly okay down here, except for this cracked weld that we have on this muffler. That's something I'll get taken care of. But yeah, let's see what we can do about these oxygen sensors. It looks like I'm one short, which is frustrating. Taking out first. Don't worry, it wasn't this loose. I did loosen it with a wrench or spanner. This is the probably oxygen sensor 1, bank 1/1, because it's on the driver's side. Somebody out there correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is going to be your upstream left that I was sold at the auto part shop, so that's what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put the upstream right, and then, well, I've got an extra one. I hope that one of those 2 is not faulty, but I remember that we had the error was for 1/1 and 1/3. So I'm going to replace 1/1, 1/2. Hopefully the one just before the catalytic converter is 1/3. We will find out. This is what the old sensor looks like. Focus. You know, don't know if there's anything actually wrong with it, but that's what it looks like. Let's compare it to our new sensor, shall we? Shiny. That's just wonderful. Look at that. That is the wrong plug. Thank you, Auto O'Reilly's, for ruining my day. Let's see if any of the others have the right plug. What the hell, Auto O'Reilly's? All three of them have this stupid square freaking thing on them. You pieces of turd. I can't believe this. Now I'm gonna have to put this old crap thing back in there and then go get these things swapped out.
Swing on the track.
Get in the zone!
I want to put into perspective just exactly how chewed up some of these. I mean, I just cut a section of this off. It goes like this the whole way along. This is the window washer hose. I mean, these frickin' rats really love to eat crap. Rubber and window washer fluid. So I got new hoses, and luckily Auto O'Reilly sorted me out. Now, sometimes you get this situation where, like with this car, I think it must be a half-year model. So, you know, it's supposed to be a 2001, but every once in a while you get a 2000, well, a half year, which basically, let me get my thoughts together here. This is supposed to be a 2001, okay? So I got oxygen sensors for a 2001 model, and they don't fit. However, these are 2000 oxygen sensors, and they are the correct ones. So I guess what happened was this is just like old, they use the half-year old stock wiring harnesses and stuff or whatever on this particular one, so it's a very early 2001 model is what I'm trying to say. But these are correct. So this is supposed to be, well, this is nice, it's Bosch, so it's expensive and posh. This is a downstream one we're not going to use for now. I'm going to go replace this upstream sensor, and we'll take it from there. Well, this is quite nice. It comes with anti-seize already on the threads. Sorry, it's a garbage truck in the background. Yeah. There you can see the difference. Gonna just install it up in here. There's a heavy smell of dog turd under this truck for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, lovely new Bosch. Let's get her tightened down. I mean, you don't want to overdo it. Just good enough, really. Okay, and now I just need to plug it in up here on the wiring harness, so I'll do that. Alright, so this hose over here, lovely new hose that I've got for the expansion bottle, it's important. You know, it's a pressurized system, and when the coolant gets too bloody hot, you know, it gets rid of the excess and basically pumps it into this expansion bottle and then sucks it back in, you know, when it needs it. So it's a very integral and important part of your whole cooling system. And so what's been happening is when it gets to a certain temperature, trying to go out of this hose, it was, you know, just basically pissing out because it had rat chew holes in it. Now this still has a rat chew in it down here, but this is not important. This is the overflow. So basically what happens is if there's just too much in here, it escapes and leaks down onto the road. That's what this is all about. It doesn't go back into the engine or anything, so it doesn't even matter if it just pisses out of there or down there. I do want to replace it anyway, but for now that's not the important part. This is the important hose, so let's get this sorted out. And I also have a replacement hose for that really chewed up window washer thing, which will be interesting to test to see if it works. Chewed all the way like this. I had to get a little hose extender. This is what you use for like your irrigation or something like that. So I'm using that. to match these two hoses up because they chewed so much. I had to cut it over here. And I'm going to route it down the way it was originally, zip tie it to the harness or whatever to make sure it doesn't get in the way of anything. And I'll let you know when that's done, but in the meantime, here, this is all hooked up. You can see I put a proper hose clamp on there, it's not going anywhere. So I'm pretty happy that the cooling system is now okay. So let's continue. Now this lid says washer fluid only. Guess what? Water is a washer fluid. I'm just filling it up to test to make sure it doesn't leak or anything. I'll put some proper washer fluid in it later. That's probably good enough. I mean, that's plenty, and I see water knocking about in there. And now, I'm gonna have to just check and see if it's leaking anywhere. But most importantly, we're gonna test if these things work. Testing for two things. Number one, I'm gonna start her with that new oxygen sensor, see if we have an error, but that's not the main thing because that takes time. It has to warm up and all that. I want to see if that low washer fluid crap comes on. Okay, so far so good. I'm not seeing that stupid low wash come on. Even more importantly, let's see if it works. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Can you see what I see? See what I see. What is that shit from? That's freaking cool. Okay. Score 1 for the good guys, 0 or 0 to the rats, those pieces of shit. And we're seriously getting there. The whole point is when you take a vehicle in for SMOG is you can't have any lights up on the dash. I mean, sure, they're not going to fail you for having a low wash light, but any light's just a bad idea. So if you can clear them all, that's what you want to go for. So far so good. Everything's holding. I'll have to drive the truck around a bit to see if that check engine light comes back on, but we might be on the correct path. And just like that, the foul check engine light was defeated. It has not come back on, and I've driven the truck around a couple of days now to test. So we've gotten rid of that problem. There is, however, the issue of some massive exhaust leaks, and I'm pretty sure if we take it into the SMOG shop with these big holes in the exhaust, they're just going to fail us from a visual inspection. So I'm going to go ahead and try and fix those in the next episode. And of course, next episode we'll actually take it in to the SMOG shop and see if it passes. Stick around for that, and thank you all for watching. As usual, keep it between the ditches. Don't drive off of a cliff, end up somehow on an aircraft carrier's deck and get run over by a F-14 taking off very fast. I'll see you next time.
Dorothy, you took her, you damn thief!